Yo, what is going on, guys? There's your boy Kimbo here, and it is time for an epic discussion video. Now, this video is gonna be on Bakugan. So basically, with this, I might just call it the future of Bakugan. With a question mark. Because just a discussion. So basically, in this, we're gonna talk about a bunch of the stuff that I would love to see for Bakugan going forward. So talking about just the reboot with it. The legacy is absolutely phenomenal. You already know, and even how they pay the references with it. But going with not gonna do any crossovers or anything because just copyright and rights with that. So odds are we might not see that happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like a multi-dimensional thing with like Dan from the old school meeting Dan from the new school, and then those brawlers meet these brawlers and such. It will be an absolutely amazing fantasy booking type thing for sure. But being on the realistic side of the spectrum, since there's no like crazy right ownership or anything with it, just going with like the reboot for it. But just saying, the reboot is very, very solid, man. Like, you cannot sleep on it for sure. Like, seasons 1 through 4 have all been really, really epic. The main thing just being the cards. But I'll get into that a little bit. So, little synopsis before going through it. Season 1, Battle Planet, where they had the whole entire build up with Tico and the V virus, all the crazy events for that. Um, just crazy, awesome, nostalgic times, man. Like, just during season 1, oh my god, dude. Like, even saying that I've gone to like Anime Expo and been there, man, and just met so many awesome brawlers and stuff, and just those memories, it's insane. It's freaking, dude. I'm choking out just thinking about it. It was freaking insane, man. I'd love to go and do some stuff like that again for sure in the future, but um, yeah, you already know. Just season 1 vibes, absolutely wild. And then even like season 2, still being really, really epic. Armored Alliance, the whole build up with like the Fusion Bakugan, with Havoc and Saber Pyravian, all that good stuff. Yeah, where we saw the debut essentially of like the Baku gear coming in, the Fusion Bakugan, same thing, having fusion cores. Fusion cores are still the strongest cores in the game because they're only meant for Fusion Bakugan, which that keeps that balance because some Fusion Bakugan not being the craziest beat power wise, but then they keep the balance by making some ridiculous cores for them. Plus 800B Fusion Magic Shield. Just saying, 800 Bs if you land on that thing and your Bakugan's fused. Like, that's some power. That's the strongest one in the game, but it's only compatible with the Fusion Bakugan, you know. But yeah, they're getting into season 3, Geogon Rising, the introduction to the Geogon and such. We got another combiner, well, other combiners, like how we had Max's Helios, Max's Drago. Well, we got, Ultimate Villock and Geoforge Drago with this. So essentially that callback to season 2 of the original era. You could even tell how they're making the references and stuff. Even with like the Bakugan, like when it comes to their names, some of their designs, you see some elements of like past Bakugan. It's so great, man. How they made it a real like melting pot. Like Crustillion coming in season 3, Luxtor in Gundalian Invaders, literally similar design. Season 3, come on, man. Really, really love those references and such. It's so cool to see. But yeah. Now being into the territory of Evolution, season 4, where we're seeing, Nanogon becoming a thing. The implementation of Nanogon, the return of like Metal Bakugan, which we saw during season 4 Mectanium Surge of the original era, and now seeing that reference here, man, it's crazy. Like the Metal Bakugan, even using more metal these Bakugan than they did for the past, which is crazy, man. Really, really wild. Just the quality and everything for all the Bakugan throughout all 4 seasons has been phenomenal. It's been really, really sick. With the show, how they've done the show, absolutely phenomenal as well. Because you have some characters from like the first season that still come around and are a part of things. Like, we saw China with this season, like season 4. Like, dude, it's awesome, and it's like a melting pot, with the Bakugan, like seeing some previous molds of Bakugan, but then getting like elemental versions, with different paint schemes and everything, different stats, powered up stats and such. So, even some of those older Bakugan that people weren't able to get back then, you can get some of them now, and they have like the boosted stats and such. And also some Bakugan they didn't release with previous waves, with previous seasons and such, you know, remolding them and then having them come back out in the different factions that we didn't see, man. It's really, really sick. So now we're gonna get into the big time thing. So you probably guessed some of the things I'm gonna say already. First things first, that I'm gonna let just out of the bag, cards, of course. That being the big thing that I want to see. Like I said, we're sitting here discussing the things I really want to see with Bakugan going forward. Of course, like the number one thing just being cards, seeing those cards in general. They got Shields of Destroy out in some capacity, like with this year, in some capacity. You can find them on eBay, but just getting it out where people can get them that much more. You know what I mean? They're out in some capacity, but of course, like just big time LGS distribution, all that good stuff. It's been mentioned a lot. I'm just letting the cat out of the bag at the beginning of the video, so y'all already know. It's not like, oh, hey, you got to talk about the cards. Y'all know I talk about the cards big time because TCG is freaking amazing, and the main thing is just getting those cards out there so people can deck build and play the pro version of the game. I don't know if it's like, oh, they might think it might cost too much to like print them in different countries and different languages and stuff, but they did that before with like Resurgence. They even had like some of the cards go on under TT, like, yeah, man. But in general, the cards, because they diversify the game that much more. The main ones we got to see, like that we haven't seen in any capacity, are Secrets of the Geogon and whatever the GG set is. We don't even know the name of the GG set, but we just know like and you're wondering, like, how do you know there's a GG set after Secrets of the Geogon? If you look on any of the character cards for some of the last Bakugan for Geogon Rising, it says GG. And that's usually the name for whatever wave of the TCG there is. So I can imagine it being something like Geoforge Guardians or something, because GG, But, yeah, like whatever the GG set is until we get like some sort of name, if we ever get a name for it. But yeah, man. So Secrets of the Geogon and the GG sets, especially getting those out there. So you can use the Geogon because I, being a big time collector, got the Geogon. I'm sure people have been wondering why they haven't seen that many Geogon implemented with my deck profiles. That's because they only come with one card. Like, I'm not going to use a Geogon if it's only one card, because I'm still pretty sure the rule is you can only have one Geo, because you have to have the actual figure with it, and you that way you're not lugging around a crap ton of plastic or such with it. You can only have one Geogon per brawl, So, yeah. That way things are balanced, so you can't sit there and make a gigantic deck with all Geogon or something. Yeah, because you have to lug around all those Geogon and have all those pieces with it, and they're not trying to have that happen. So yeah, one Geogon per brawl. But yeah, with that being said, not gonna use a Geogon if there's only like one card for it. I'd want to have like at least two, because some of them get up there like cost wise, but like maybe for some having three, like a full play set or such. That's one of the cases where I'd use a full play set. If it's like a low cost Geogon, then yeah, I'd probably use a full play set for that. But I usually use like two cards, but not even being able to get the second card. If they manage to get the the Secrets of the Geogon or the GG sets out, those would probably be a bunch of like Geogon cards that we're able to get, so we're able to use our Geogon, because they're all a part of it for sure, man. Like, they're a part of the pack, so I won't be surprised if like maybe they include like a Geogon card at the end of every pack, or they just include them in the packs, like regardless, and just have it be like luck of the draw when it comes to pulling it, like how the TCG goes. But yeah, so in general, just seeing those ways of the TCG. Don't even know if there's anything for evolutions. It's a big question for me, just because like they have the Diamond Evos, like some Bakugan getting Diamond Evos. They include the Diamond Evo cards with them, and it says like EV on the cards. But does that mean like there's gonna be like an evolutions wave of the TCG, or nah? If anything, I can imagine it being like one wave that was supposed to come out for it, but then the TCG just going on hiatus big time. But yeah, so just cards in general. You guys already know. But yeah, now going into it, I'd really want to see like, I think there's potential for it too. It's not confirmed or anything, but there's potential for it. I definitely want to see them break the mold that has not been broken for Bakugan yet. Beyblade just broke this mold, that being like the first era having like 3 seasons, then Metal Fight having 4 seasons, and then Burst being so successful that they had 6 seasons of the show and 7 seasons, currently on season 7, for the figures, yeah, or it's technically like Gen 8 for it, because single layers too, if you don't include them too. technically like the 8th gen for you know what I mean. But Bakugan breaking that mold. So I think the potential is there because it's still doing very, very well. Like Bakugan selling big time. Spin Master sees that. They could definitely up the ante by getting the cards out there big time. They'll make that much more money. I don't even think they realize what a gold mine they're sitting on, but for real. Like if they actually manage to get the cards on the big time capacity, that would be really, really sick, dude. But the potential is definitely there for season 5. Yeah, what would the gimmick be? I think like with each season they kind of hint at like something with the next season a bit with like whatever big figure they have. So Drago, Maximus that we saw in season 1, how he had the powers of like all the different attributes together, like in the armor, and then he became Maximus, having that crazy power and the bond of the other brawlers. Kind of hinted at Fusion Bakugan, because like just the different factions coming together and overlapping, kind of hinting at that with that. And then season 2, Drago Infinity, yeah, Dragonoid Infinity, when they put that out, it was the Bakugan going in there. Basically, man had like had the Thanos gauntlet snap, but all the different attributes coming together with that. But him kind of like transforming into like Maximus, because having this the big time armor with it, or I mean Infinity, like how he had the Infinity armor and then used that to get stronger and then became Drago Infinity. Yeah, and just the fact that we never even got a figure for like Infinity itself, that does make me a little sad though, because Infinity had a cool design, just the figure itself, and then Gorillion as well, man. But I'll get into that more. Yeah, but kind of like hinting at how the Geogon come in and take over for the Bakugan, so use that suit and such, basically like combining powers kind of with it, and transferring that power to the Geogon. But yeah, and then especially with Geoforge Drago, the actual figure for it, the Geoforge Drago that came with it, having metal with it. And that was a big time hint towards evolutions, because the Bakugan all having metal with them big time. So maybe whatever comes out as the big time figure for this year could be a hint at like a possible next season. I think the thing is like there's like a Genesis pack that's supposed to be coming with like light up Bakugan, so they're gonna do like the Baku glow treatment, man. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Like you open up the Bakugan and then they just have like the lights activate and everything, literally like the Baku Bolt Bakugan from before, like like Voltrinoid and Oriska and Volt Elazoid and just like Lumatroid, like those kind of Bakugan, man, that actually light up. I wonder if they have the sound effects with them, but at least they'll light up. It's gonna be sick, man. I'm looking forward to that for sure. And I think that is the big time set for this season, like the big gimmick set for this season. So maybe like the next season, Bakugan they could have like a top version that's like clear, like how they're doing like Genesis right now. Maybe they expand on that further with like another season, and the Bakugan just have the lights with them or something, like the Bakugan they light up and such, and that's the gimmick or something, that the Bakugan have like the batteries and light up and everything with them. That would be pretty sick. Yeah, but hopefully they like include, I definitely want to see them include like some more ultras. Like I miss the ultra Bakugan, don't get me wrong, I like the platinum Bakugan, how they've done with this season, but I love seeing the opening action of the ultras, how they jump up and everything. So if they find a melting pot, they add in maybe some more Bakugan that have metal in them, some Bakugan that have like the lights and stuff with them, and then even like include some other ultras. Like there's Bakugan that they scrapped before, which is going into my next point. Bakugan that they scrapped before released them, like Diamond Kellyon Ultra never got released. Just those Bakugan that they had at the end of each season that were part of like the scrap list. Like Pyrus Webum was one of the ones I think for the first season. Like I loved Webum. It was one of my favorite Bakugan from the first season. Like ball figure wise, it was just so cool. It's a gigantic spider, and just really wanted to see it in like Arliss and Pyrus, but there's apparently supposed to be a Pyrus one, but then it just got scrapped at the end. Same thing with Diamond Kellyon Ultra and a few other Bakugan. You can name, if you know all the Bakugan that got scrapped with the first season or second seasons or whatever, like let me know in the comments. I know in the second season, Diamond Pegatrix Gillator was one of the ones, and then a few other ones like I think Hydra's Batrix didn't make it. There's like a few other Bakugan that just got scrapped with that were unreleased. But yeah, and then maybe even with the third season, like We got Bakugan like Serpilius and such, which we didn't get to see like that many molds for them. But you see, with the fourth season, they put out like Serpilius. Even with the third season, they released Syndius Ultra. You know, and we didn't even see Syndius in the show, but they released Syndius Ultra as a couple of figures for the Ultra that we hadn't seen before, and other factions we hadn't seen before. So that diversifies the game for sure. Like, they have the perfect opportunity to go in and release these Bakugan that they initially were going to do, but then maybe just the season was too big, so they had to condense it, scrap some of those Bakugan, put them out in the future season, you know, like how they do how they did with Syndius in season 3, how they did with Serpilius and a few other Bakugan with this season, you know. Also, like Apophix, we only got like an Aquas one, a Ventus one, and then a Diamond one. And Apophix had such a cool design, man. I'd love to see like Apophix come back, because they, who the heck was it? The Masters of Disaster, Master Red, that kid had a Pyrus Apophix, and that thing looks so sick. It's an unreleased Bakugan, like, you know, they never released like Pyrus Apophix Ultra, but it'll be cool if they did, you know. Put out some of those Bakugan that you've shown off in the show that these brawlers have, release them, might as well, you know. Yeah, and another thing also, mythics. Like, why not make a few more mythics? I think there's supposed to be maybe some more coming out, but yeah, like make some more mythics, definitely. Because some of the mythic Bakugan have some really good stats, like the older Bakugan, but then they really repurposed them and made them strong. You know, like Nilius, Mythic Nilius, Hydras, all of them are honestly really usable for sure. I've even used a bunch of them in like recent profiles because they're really, really sick. Would not mind seeing some more mythics. But yeah, man. I guess like another thing I would say would be Bakugan that have appeared in the show. It goes off the point I made before a little more. Bakugan that appeared in the show that we never saw an actual form for. The biggest cases for me being, well, you know, Artulian. You know, that's one. They never made Apollyon by itself, but you know, they made Claptor Apollyon, so at least they put an Apollyon with that, so okay. Um, but they never made Artulian at all. Like, you know, they never made an actual figure for it. But the big one for me being Tico, like the evil of the season, and they didn't make Tico into a figure, man. I wanted to see a Tico so bad. Like, I know the odds for it, people are gonna be like, "Oh, Kimbo, there's probably no chance of that." Like, I get that. It's just like that's the fun of the speculation and everything. Because I lose my mind if they made Tico, man. They made Leonidas. I hope they put Leonidas out in other forms. That's another one of the points. Leonidas, all factions, you might as well. Everybody will go and pick up every single one because it's Leonidas. They don't care what faction it is. It'll be their favorite faction or whatever. I just know if they released it in multiple factions, I'd pick it up for sure. Like they have the opportunity. They could put Leonidas in with the 3-packs. Like they're, you know, they're gonna have more 3-packs for like the summer and then going into the fall and stuff, especially around the end of the year. Why not put in other colors for Leonidas? People are gonna want those packs just because, even for Leonidas alone, man. But yeah, we'd love to see that. But yeah, some Bakugan like Tico that was never made, and Tico is, like I said, one of my favorite Bakugan for the first season. And I'm still sad that he never actually got a ball form. I'd love to see it for sure. Like, get a ball form with some pretty good stats. Also, Gorillion. Both of them being Arliss Bakugan too. Gorillion's design was so awesome, man. Whether it's the regular Gorillion or Gorillion Infinity, either or, man, the thing looks so cool. Because Gorillion had the Infinity armor before Drago did, you know. That's how he introduced himself, was like Gorillion Infinity, and then sends Sabra flying back. It was crazy, man, or Sabris, whichever one you want to call it. Yeah, it just has such a cool design, man. I'm still so sad that Tico and Gorillion never got a ball form. Like, it would be perfect to put them out, man. The season's a melting pot. Even going forward with like the next season, it could still be as much as a melting pot. Yeah, dude. Whew. Yeah, I think I got basically everything out. I think the last thing I would say would be, one thing I really want to see is some more Arliss support, man. Like all the other factions, I get like how Arliss has a special role and it's kind of like the balance of Astroya and everything, but it's still a faction, you know. And the main thing with Arliss is having that balance. And the crazy thing is to up that balance that much more, you know. So like Arliss Bakugan, you see them having helixes big time. So you have a big boost of something and a reduction of something else, you know. Like just get some more Arliss Bakugan to get up there power-wise, which, I mean, they've been putting out, like, there are a few Arliss Bakugan that have some pretty decent stats and are definitely usable for sure. But just in general, looking at Arliss compared to the other factions, like, you see other factions getting, like, major boosts with, like, the Bakugan and such. You gotta see that for the Arliss Bakugan, too, while still continuing that, you know, that balance and such. Because we're seeing a little bit of, like, power creep, but at the same time, less damage as the B power goes up, because you got to sit there and rely on the makes you rely on the damage cards a lot more, you know. In that case, if you have like no B, well, you have big time B power and you have no damage, you know, it makes you really focus on those damage cards and such too, because you can't really do any damage if you have no damage at all. You can have all the B power in the world, but you don't have any damage, you can't do much. And that's the big time balance with it. And that's one thing I really like, man. So yeah, a little bit of power creep, but there's still a major balance with it, because like the cards with the TCG balance things out that much more. And we just gotta see the cards more, and even the mechanic for like the core stealing and such. It could switch up battles big time with that. The core manipulation, that gimmick is huge for sure, man. But yeah, like I said, the big thing, just some more Arliss support. I want to see some more like good Arliss cards, you know, because even with the Arliss cards, I hope they put in some decent Arliss cards with like Secrets of the Geogan, the GG sets, if we ever see them. But yeah, because they did add some more with like Shields of Astroya. We got the Ajit hero card with that. We got like Combo Cannon. We got some decent Baku Gears with that for sure, man. So hopefully they just add a few more Arliss cards with Secrets of the Geogan and the GG sets if we ever do see them, man. I want to see some more Arliss support. I love Arliss. You already know. I got like Arliss 10 right there, man. Arliss, Darkest, Pyrus. You already know Pyrus, Arliss, Darkest. Those be my factions, man. Those be my attributes for sure. But yeah, so I guess that is basically everything for this discussion video. I think I got all the things out that I really want to see for like the future of Bakugan. You know, I don't know if Spin Master actually sees it, so you already know I'm freaking honored. But yeah, just definitely focus on like the Bakugan that you scrapped before and re-release them, and just have them have some pretty good stats, because that's diversifying the game in itself right there. And people see the Bakugan that we didn't get a chance to see before. So they released like Gillator Ultra, right? Diamond Gillator Ultra. You know, they said this Diamond Ultra Gillator. That's how they said it, like Diamond Ultra Gillator. They released that pack with this season. But we saw Gillator Ultra before, but then they put Ultra Gillator, so you know it's different. But still, even if they do that, like Diamond Ultra Kellyon, you know, Diamond Ultra Turpilius, you know, like how they did with like the Pyrus Turpilius with this, even though they named it Smog. I don't know if that's a reference or anything, but it's Turpilius. But yeah, man, still, there's a lot of potential. I definitely hope we see a season 5. So I'm gonna be so happy, man. That'll be history. Like, I hope season 4 isn't it, because there's still so much potential with Bakugan for sure, man. I can see it going. Definitely, like, even more multiple seasons. Like I said, Beyblade made it up to like season 6, and then the figures made it to season 7, man. I can imagine if they played things right with Bakugan, I can imagine it going just as far, for real. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys want to see in the comments for sure. I think I got it all out of my system. Just wanted to make a video just talking about like things I want to see for the future of it, because after, you know, things settling kind of with the show, we're getting to the crazy part now, but being through a lot of the season, seeing how the figures have been so far and everything, yeah, and just get all these thoughts out. Yeah, I also think there's like a wave of cosplay Cubos coming out, another one. If they make them strong, I'm not even mad. I know Haru Ren doesn't like Cubbo that much, but if they make the stats for them pretty decent and fun, I'll definitely pick them up, because they all look really cool. I like the designs of the cosplay Cubos. They're different, and they diversify things for sure. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it. Let me know what you think in the comments for sure. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content, because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. So yeah, guys, till next time, it is your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Until then, stay awesome and Bakugan Brawl. I'm up out of here.